There's a sight. Let's make it even sightier. Gonna get this thing down today. Down. Make sure, yeah. I like it. So far, with all appearances, everything is lined up, and I still am amused and bemused that you can take this wonky, twisted, roller coaster, bumpy piece of sinew and with like hotness, heat, shape it to your will. But yeah, this thing is coming along pretty good. It's on the stiff side. There's still a lot of work to do. A few notes. I did like that short on baking it over forced heat, the register underneath the curtain. And you might say to yourself, this is not my beautiful house. No, that's a whole different conversation. This is not my beautiful wife. How did I get here? No, it's like I don't worry about over drying the wood when the bows are sinew backed. In fact, the Turks would bake their bows in ovens before. The sinew takes all the work. Then maybe the wood will get back up to 9% moisture level, but, you know, again, sinew. And so it's a very effective way in the winter, and I love the reflex that it put into it. And it also, you know, you will see this in a short. Shorts get a lot of garner a lot of attention. This one, I'm going to be putting out a short later today, offering the little kits for these things. You know, you don't even need to get the forms for bending them into gull wings. They're nice little bows. You'll be able to, at a reasonable cost, get the sinew, the leather for the handle, the bow blanket will be tailored up. It's just simple woodworking. It's not like something like this. You know, you could just use a sanding block to round the back. You'll get the rounding gauge, the plywood, 1/4 inch plywood rounding gauge. It's a simple, quick way to get into making a sinew back bow. Probably the easiest on the interminets. And is it up to the level of an Osage 48-inch bow? No. But when you fire harden that red oak, it's a good bow, you know, and it'll allow people that don't have unlimited funds, you know. I'm not saying the person that's getting this has, none of us have, but you get my drift that, you know, for not much money, you'll be able to have a really cool art project that will work, you know, where you're not afraid to fire harden, you know, or paint or whatever. But anyway, getting back to this thing. Getting back to this bow. I wish I had more time and more energy to devote to bow making. I am literally living in Bowmaker, Nevada. Yeah, Nevada. Hi, Tightwad Todd. Nirvana, because I've got so many different staves. But, you know, life. But I'm going to make the most of my day off today. And yeah, it's a little above 55 pounds. But we'll get there. You know what's interesting though, is there's a couple woods where, and I'm not talking that I'm going to have a round belly on this, but I am, just because I'm interested in the visual aspects of bows too. I mean, I am me. You know, I am going to not just round the edges, I'm going to round it in a little bit. And I can get away with that with Osage, I could get away with that with yew. They are unique woods in that regard. And probably mulberry too, because mulberry shares a lot of characteristics with Osage. And, you know, so before I get too far into tillering this thing, getting it down to the weight, it's pretty much tillered. It's just like a really heavy bow at this point. I'm going to get the edges to the roundedness and see how much weight that takes off. Now, am I going to still have flat on the belly? Yes, I will. I'm just going to round it to more of a degree than I normally would, and it'll be fine. Osage. And that will reduce the weight quite a bit. See, if I'm going to plan to round these edges, I would be foolish to tiller the bow by removing belly flat, get it down to 55 pounds, because then if I rounded them, it would go way below. So, you know, order of operations, speaking mathematically. The last little bit I'm going to get into, because I don't want to tie you up too much. I know you've got exciting projects you're working on, especially bows. Estelle, I am talking to you, Estelle, in my creepiest voice. Where's the camera? Okay, there it is. figured it out. The reason why I had so much errant feed on my new Facebook was I didn't have any friends, so Facebook didn't know what to send me. They're probably just looking at statistics, and I'm not trying to drag people my age under the bus, but they're figuring statistically what would a I have to laugh about this. What would a 63-year-old guy be interested in? You know, and that's what they were throwing to me, even though it's Bose motorcycles and stuff like that for me. And you, I know you. As soon as I got my first friend, I've got one friend on Facebook that's a bow maker, a really good bow maker, and a hunter. You know, now that's my feed. And so Estelle, you're not getting that junk because Facebook knows what you're about. They didn't know who I was. And so that's why I was getting all that garbage. Not to let Jeff Zuckerberg, or whatever your name is, if you're listening, I still think that you're a dirtbag. But I get why Facebook sent me all that stuff. It's an explanation, not an excuse. Well, anyway, I love the jabberjaw. It's time for me to work on bows. And I'm going to do a short on this because, oh my gosh, I'll do this video and I will download it is in my theatrical voice, and I'll probably top out at 200 views. But you know what? I can do a short on this bow kit, and at the end of the day, I'll probably have 1,500 views. So why not? That's all.